headlines start to twist. He's digging through the stories, finding all the things you missed. Talking Super Bowl ads, old films in modern trouble. If the world's too loud, films in modern trouble. If the world's too loud, he cuts it down to the subtle. So turn that down, 'cause you know who's talking. Ooh, if there's truth in the static, Tom Gulley, from where you're looking. Ooh, you got it out deep for Gulley. 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 You got it out deep for Gulley.
When the daylight's fading and the world feels wrong, there's a voice on the airwaves, steady and strong. From the heart of the internet's wild frontier, Tom Gulley's talking, pull up a chair. He's got stories, he's got takes, he's got calls rolling in. From the tales of the weird to the shape of the spin. If you're tired of the noise and the nonsense online, there's a seat in the Gullyverse. Come take your time. The show must go on. The show must go on. With the mic burning bright through the dusk to the dawn. Yeah, whatever goes wrong, the Tom Gulley Show lives on. The show must go on. He's the radio outlaw with a charm so sly, a storyteller's cadence and a wink in his eye. From the ghosts in the attic to the news of the day, Tom breaks it all down in his signature way. He's the king of the ramble, the lord of the yarn. He'll take you from evening straight through to dawn, with callers so strange you'd swear they're a bit. But Tom never wavers, he just rolls with it. The show must go on. The show must go on. With the mic burning bright through the dusk to the dawn. Yeah, whatever goes wrong, the Tom Gulley Show lives on. The show must go on. So grab your Dr. Pepper and settle in tight. Tom's firing up the airwaves tonight. Where the chaos of calm, he keeps steering the ship with a quip, a riff, and that Gulley grip. The show must go on. The show must go on. Through the static and storms, every dusk, every dawn. From the heart of the net to the edge of beyond. The Tom Gulley Show lives on. Yes, the show must go on.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's our pleasure to present the smash hit that's been sweeping the nation in response to well-known Hollywood celebrity Christian Slater visiting our chat room. At least I think it's Christian Slater. I'm going to choose to believe it because that makes it so much more fun. The Christian Slater in our chat room is apparently obsessed with spiders, and because of all this, we have a very special song created by Mr. Leon Kennedy. We hope you enjoy it just as much as we do.
soft and discreet, turned around and saw some spiders dancing on their feet. All their legs were shiny gold, and the rhythm pure heat. He thought, hold on, baby, these little fellas groove kinda crazy, and the whole room lit like a disco dream. Oh, that was the night the spiders attacked, but with disco hearts, baby, nothing got whacked. Skittering, jittering, never losing the tact. Tom Gulley smiling, feeling all the impact. Oh, honey, no one got sacked on the night. Oh, the night, the night, the night the spiders attacked. Christian Slater walks in with his Hollywood stride, leather jacket shimmering, grin open wide. He saw those tiny dancers moving side to side. Didn't take a minute for the man to join the ride. Every spider in the room kept the groove amplified. The lights flickered bright like a Motown stage, silky harmonies floating like we'd turn a new page. Spiders tapping rhythm like a miniature band. Oh, that was the night the spiders attacked, but with disco hearts, baby, nothing got whacked. Skittering, jittering, never losing the tact. Groove so smooth it bordered on abstract. Oh, honey, no one got sacked. Oh, the night, the night, the night the spiders attacked. Oh, that was the night the spiders attacked. Silver legs shimmering in every move exact. Glittering, gliding, keeping all the rhythm packed. Groove so heavy, every heartbeat sinking stack. Oh, honey, the whole world clapped. For the night, the night, the night the spiders attacked.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? Another banger from Leon Kennedy in honor of our good friend Christian Slater, who is a big Hollywood star and inhabits our chat room quite frequently. The night the spiders attack. Tonight, let me tell you about S&H Green Stamps. You may not think it's a big thing, but it actually is a big thing. And if you like loyalty programs, that's a word they use to, anytime you get a little extra, like on your credit card, it goes to airline miles, it goes to money back, whatever. That's a loyalty program. The biggest one ever. And I mean big. And you're not going to believe what they did. And I'm going to show you what they did. Was S&H Green Stamps. It's going to blow your mind, man. It's totally going to blow your mind, dude. Anyway, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell. It only costs a click. Please, a little something for the effort. We also have super chats. We also have memberships if you'd care to donate. Of course, we appreciate that as always. Then we also have PayPal. That's where you give the most, I get the most. Google don't get nothing. And then at the Tom Gulley Show store. And by the way, this is the holiday season, so there's like big percentages off on all sorts of stuff in our merch store. Or at least there should be. There has been recently. It usually is through the holidays. I don't control that. It's Cafe Press, so check that out. And it's all down here in the begging bar, or you can just go into the description of the show. We got a few chats here. We've got some luminaries entering the field of play. Team Brittany was here earlier. She's actually a moderator on a LawTube show with like 150,000 subscribers. And she says that she's getting back home from traveling, but stopping in for a like. We appreciate that. Safe travels. Sky is here, says happy to be here, H2BH. Happy to see you, and would like us to get going. Jared is here, says we talking about stamps, green ones. We talking about stamps. Stamps? We talking about stamps? Stamps. Not the game, not the game. We be talking about stamps. Rob is here. This is H2BH. Hello, Rob. How are you? StreamYard is doing this thing, or maybe it's just YouTube, where they're giving the extended avatar name, which I don't like. It's like people pick their avatar name for a reason. Why are you giving the, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's a accountability thing. Jared says he always dials T for Gulley. I thought it was dial G for Gulley. The chef is here. Just a second before we get started, I'll be proving to you people that this is an actual chef. And then, of course, Christian Slater showed up when we started playing the spiders. I wish you guys could get some red spiders or something, because every time you put them in black, they don't show up in my little text bar there. Jared dials T. All he gets fax machine beeps. Sky says, no Dr. Pepper for me tonight, just an ice cold Kolsch from my local favorite brewery. I don't know what that is, but I'm glad it's ice cold. Christian Slater says, it's me, Tom. I have a signed headshot I want to send you in a limited edition Pump Up the Volume VHS. Well, I warmly receive that. More spiders, fire and spiders, like a disco dream. Yeah, it's an amazing song. The night the spiders attack. Wow, Christian Slater really likes this. Such an amazing part. Wait, this is the favorite part. The night. Yeah, it's a good song. It's a really good song. You know, it makes me want to gleam the cube. Okay. Definitely a banger. Sky has become a new member. Thank you so much. Well, that's fabulous. We got a new member. That's beautiful. Everybody congratulate Sky for that. Kolsch is one of the greatest styles of beer to exist. I will take your word for it. It sounds like Grolsch, which I know a lot of people like. So anyway, without further ado, let's get down to it. S&H Green Stamps. Line of trading stamps that was popular here in these United States of America. Get this, from 1896. Oh, why don't I put some green stamps up on the screen here? Thank you, StreamYard, for shrinking those. Well, I'll put them up like this. 1896 to the late 1980s. They were distributed as part of a rewards program that was operated by a company called Sperry and Hutchinson, therefore S&H. And get this. You're not going to believe this, but believe it. Hear me now and believe me later. During the 1960s, S&H Green Stamps issued more stamps than the U.S. Postal Service. Now, that's saying something, because that was at a time where there was no email and all that other stuff. People sent letters. You sent letters like you sent email. I remember when I was in college, I met a girl who was visiting from another college. We swapped addresses and sent each other letters for like a year. That's what you did. So they issued more stamps than the U.S. Postal Service. They also distributed 35 million catalogs a year. That was a good portion of U.S. households at the time. Now, if you were a person, and most people were, and you went shopping, and here's the places that you mostly got S&H Green Stamps. It was at the supermarket, bought groceries. You probably were going to get some S&H Green Stamps. So you buy your groceries, and based upon the amount of groceries that you bought, you'd get a certain number of these stamps, okay? Same thing was true at department stores, and it was really true at gas stations, okay? There were other places that would give them to you, but those were the top 3 places, right? And when you did that, when you got these stamps, okay, you would put them in these booklets, all right? These booklets. I'll get down to the numerical breakout here in a second. I'm actually going to show you some stuff you could get with S&H Green Stamps. All right? And you would redeem these in a catalog that they would give you. So a certain number of stamps was worth this thing in the catalog. Or you could go, they had a store, too, that you could go to. And sometimes you would get the stuff you wanted from the catalog. You would go to the store and get it. You'd send in and say, these are the things I want. They would send it to the store. You'd go in and say, I'm looking for this stuff, and they'd give it to you. So anyway. Yeah, that's how all this happened. By the by, you would see. Well, let me show you these first, because this is probably in the 70s. I'm guessing by that illustration. So Sperry and Hutchinson began offering stamps to retailers in 1896. They were predominantly, as I said, supermarkets, gas stations, and stores, department stores. They would buy the stamps from S&H, and then they would give them as bonuses to shoppers based on how much they bought, okay? Now, in 1963, the average supermarket paid $2.45 for the stamps needed to fill one of these books. One, okay? But I'm sure that the retail amount of purchase was much more to fill one book. As a matter of fact, I did that math. So the supermarket would pay $2.45. You would have to buy $25.36 of groceries to get the stamps to fill one of those books. And that's about $271 in today's money, which for a family similar to the one you see at the top of the picture, that's not an unreasonable amount to spend every week, right? I mean, you try to save and stuff, but that's not out of shooting distance. Now, here's the deal. Each one of these books had 24 pages. Each page would require 50 points. And you could accumulate these points with 1-point tickets, 10-point stamps, 10-point stamps, or as you see in this illustration, this photo, you could get 50-point stamps, which made things easy. If you had a 50-point stamp, you just put, bam, one on the page, you're done. You had to lick it on the back, by the way. It was gummed. We had that, put them in the collector's books. Books were provided free. So each book contained 1,200 points. Then, and I'm going to show you this in a second, you could redeem these books for stuff from their catalog. All right? And so something that was not as expensive was one book. Something was really expensive was 50 books. See how we're doing it, right? You see how we're doing that? They did some things overseas. There were pink stamps in the UK. It wasn't as successful as over here. There was already a green stamp company over there, so they couldn't do it. So anyway, let me show you. Gosh, dog it. Sorry. Let me show you a little something here. This was something that you would see all over the place. You don't see them now. And then this is actually a leftover. This is actually a place that just likes the nostalgia of the sign on their building and has never taken it down. But you used to see this on gas stations and grocery stores and various stores. And that just meant, hey, if you shop here and you need green stamps because you're getting stuff for Christmas, which was a big use of green stamps, or you just need more green stamps for something you want, come in here and buy stuff and you can get them here. Okay. This is, they used to see this. This is a gas station sign. And this one's just used kind of probably to communicate with people. But if you look at the cars in the background, actually that does look like a period piece there. By the way, look at the cost of gas. 37 cents and 41 cents. Looks like some pretty old cars there too, don't you know? But you'd see those signs in the gas station parking lot, and then, of course, out on the street as well. S&H Green Stamps, big deal, big deal. This was an early ad for them. Sperry and Hutchinson, people just eventually started calling them S&H, but green trading stamps, strongest, best premium proposition on earth. Our first red letter day today, April 27th, okay. One day each month and every month, where every S&H stamp collector in Arizona receives 10 $1 worth free S&H Green trading stamps. Bring your stamp book to our premium parlor, second floor New York store, or to any local branch and receive one set, 10 red letter day stamps for the book you've started. So very, very promotionally oriented, but they were a loyalty program. Keep coming to the store, keep buying things. Like your credit card, right? If you got a credit card that gives you airline miles or whatever it is, you keep using it and you get stuff. That's what a loyalty program is. Oh, by the way, I doggone it. We're halfway through this and I forgot to show you guys. We talk about the chef all the time, right? He sent me some photos of some things, and hopefully you can get S&H Green Stamps. This looks like a dessert of some kind the chef created. This here, I'll show these again tomorrow at the top of the show properly. This here is some sort of, looks like meat medallion-y, steaky thing. I'm sure maybe other things are going on there, or maybe that's just fancy plating. And then this looks like some other good, delicious thing. I've got some other photos here that I'll show. But that's, oh, come on, man. Why are you doing me like this, StreamYard? Why wouldn't you just take me back to the camera? Why wouldn't, I mean, no, what fool? The people that made StreamYard can't possibly have ever done a show. Ever. Please do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell. We got a couple people in the room right now. I could use those likes. That helps us with the algorithm, the almighty, all-powerful, all-knowing algorithm. We love your super chats. We love your memberships. We love your gifted memberships. We also love the PayPal where you give the most, I get the most. Google don't get nothing. And then there's the TomGulleyShow.com, which, by the way, has 250 audio podcast completely independent of the 400 and some streaming shows that we have, and some of them are good. Others, well, you know. And then our merch stores there. Speaking of S&H Green Stamps, I wish I could give them. I can't. They don't do it anymore. Would you like to see the sorts of things that you could get with S&H Green Stamps? I apologize a little bit for the quality of this, but it was really weird trying to get the file size down on this for StreamYard to be able to take it. I had a much larger file size at one point, and you know, it's StreamYard. Also, StreamYard does not provide me with a way to make this like, let me see if this will do it here. No, it's not gonna. StreamYard doesn't really provide me with a way to do this book, this idea book, like turning the pages of a book and having 2 pages at once. So there's some what we call spreads that you're not going to see in that form. You're only going to see them a page at a time. So as you can see, this is what they called their catalog. They called it the idea book of distinguished merchandise. So you'd get this. It was like a Sears Roebuck catalog, right? Or JCPenney catalog. And if you look down the side, it says the Sperry Hutchinson Company, blah, blah, blah. But this is the 1968 version of the idea book. All right, what do we got here? This is just sort of, proud heritage. And then the index is at the bottom there. And then there's the family. Now, see, you normally would have seen those 2 pages together so that it would make a lot more sense. But StreamYard, StreamYard. It's StreamYard. So here we go. Looky there. You could actually buy. Daggone it, I didn't want to do that. You could actually buy. I'm trying to zoom in here so you could see the pricing. I thought I figured out how to do that yesterday, but I didn't. Because, StreamYard. Well, we do have some comments. Gene1313's here, says my grandparents did cigarette stamps. There were cigarette stamps, which were good for cigarettes. Incidentally, there were other stamp programs, but they were sort of dedicated to the store that you were in. This one was at lots of stores. Of course, it was dedicated to this catalog, but there were other programs. This was just the biggest one. Team Brittany says, hey, everyone. Hey, Team Brittany. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Rumple Trenchcoin said, the first Bitcoin, the bit stamp. Yes. Sky says, that confirms that Chef is a bona fide chef. Randy says, thank you, Sky, and thank you, Tom. Remember, everybody, it's a team effort. Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work. Rock music history lesson. Are you here? I don't know. We'll see. Team Brittany says, I see you. Rumpled Trenchcoat. Yeah, Team Brittany knows she knows the technology to find those people. I also know it, by the way. Rumpled Trenchcoat says, you could cash in green stamps for the Capitol building? I knew it. Well, you could buy a congressman back then with it. Marlboro Miles was one my aunt used to get a nice leather jacket. Rumpled Trenchcoat says, yeah, if you save up enough Marlboro Miles, you can get a new lung. Yeah, it's hilarious. So there's some jewelry. I'm going to go ahead and let you know, I don't think it's that great of jewelry. Now, if we presuppose that it's about $25 for one book, you'd have to buy $25 in groceries to get one book, right? And then that's worth $271 today. So your premium is going to be, your stamps are going to be worth less than that. Most of these were one book or book and a half. I think there was always, like in a lineup like this, there was always one real expensive one. Now, this place sold a lot of watches. And I mean a lot of watches. You'll see some later, too. Then there's a bunch of ladies' makeup-y things and brushes and mirrors and parfums. There's a bunch of makeup, what do they call those? Jewelry cases and other things for ladies. I think it's interesting that in 1968 they actually had the electric, if you look about 2/3 of the way down the page, they actually had the electric, razors for ladies' legs and things like that. But you see the descriptions over to the left, and in the lower right-hand corner of each description, that's not a price. It'll say one book or 4 books. Or when we get to some of the other items in this catalog, it'll say 35 books. Now think about that. Each book was worth 1,200 points, 24 pages. You had to fill up 35 of those suckers. And I knew people who had done it. Relatives that were like, there's our new dinette. We got it from Green Stamps. Some attractive purses and pocketbooks and things. Some more purses and pocketbooks and things. Now, this is for the man in your life, a belt and a wallet. And here's some more stuff. Look at those, man. Little, very, for the gentleman about town. Satchel and travel cases and all sorts of stuff. Let me tell you, there was some not that high quality stuff in the S&H Green Stamps catalog, but really most of the stuff was extremely good quality. And there was even some very, very high quality stuff in it. But there was not very many cheapo things in it, okay? They wanted you to be happy that you had done this. And here's the thing, my dad had one of these boxes would hold his rings and stuff and whatnot. Now look at all these watches for men. Well, they were big into watches. They'll sell you a watch. And I think most of these watches, a lot of them, there were some that were one book, but they're 2 or 3 or 4 books for these watches. Now, I do have to mention, this is some just horrifying cologne. You can see the one on the far left is Bout, and then the one next to it, well, the two on the left are Bout, and then because there's like a regular Bout and then a better version of awful Bout. And then next one to the right is Jade East, which I don't know if you've ever, I think they still sell both of those, but good God, they're awful. Good God, are they awful. Here's just a bunch of other sort of notions, I guess they would call them at a large department store, that you could get. There's electric razors up there, and there's, your pipe and your 2 Zippo lighters and all that hoo-ha. Now, here's a ton of luggage. They sold lots of luggage as well. So you could get tons of luggage from these people. Now, believe it or not, they sold suits and top coats. They didn't sell them. You redeemed your green stamps for them. Look at that. Nice stuff. I knew people that had clothes from S&H Green Stamps. I'm not joking. And why wouldn't you? You're buying at the grocery store. You're buying gas. You might as well take those stamps and get yourself some stuff. Have you ever seen a more awkward looking pair of shorts than those ones on the left? And it's also nice to know that models in ads back then also made absolutely ridiculous poses that no one ever makes in real life. That's very nice to know. There's some more nice stuff. Look at those guys out on the farm in their expensive model clothes, just wrangling a cow. Now, look at all this Jackie Onassis clothing they would sell you. And, of course, they got the sporty car in the background. But there's some nice stuff there, This, of course, is nightwear. Petticoat Brigade. Hey, look out. I'm telling you. Okay, now, yes, you could buy a whole living room suite with S&H Green Stamps, or you could buy the individual pieces of furniture. Everything in that room, and by the way, this is a full spread. This is the other side of the room. Everything in there, if it's on the rail, it's for sale with S&H Green Stamps. There's another room that you could buy everything in it. And they came sort of matching and stuff. You can tell it's the 60s by all the colors of the carpeting and whatever else. But yeah, you could outfit your whole house. Look at that. You can buy a piano, or you can get a piano, excuse me. Oh, look at all these lamps. This is another spread. So this is half of the page. And this is the other half of the page. They would sell you a lamp. Yes. They would sell you a lamp or two. Look at that. How many books were those lamps? Oh, God, some of them were four books worth. That's some high-tone stuff. Hanging lamps, it was the 60s. Sure, look at that one in the upper left. Boy, oh boy. That came with an apple bong, I think. You want a coffee table? You want Barca Lounger or something? They got it. You want other sort of side furniture? They got it. Oh, yeah, these lamps were starting to become extremely popular in the 60s and 70s. And just other stuff. Of course, everybody needs a bronze trash can. So they had one there for you. Little card tables and stuff that you might need for cards. I don't know why the child is in that photo, but you've got some looks like bath mats or kitchen mats. Or just area rugs. And yes, they would sell you paintings. Extremely generic paintings. Let me see here. I think my grandparents had every single one of those. And yes, that looks like a wall at their house with the paneling. I don't know that you could get the paneling, but here's another. This is a dining room suite. There's some fine china, and some of that was way more than one book. You could buy them individually, or you could buy the whole set. Those probably aren't quite as... Oh, God. I knew people that had that rooster design. I think my grandparents had that exact one. Why don't we get to a couple of your comments here real quick, and then we'll keep going through the catalog. There's a lot more. There's things in this catalog you're not going to believe. Team Brittany says, rock music history is trying to chat and can't. He's got so much tea. Well, get him on in here. Sky says, did they ever have issues with people counterfeiting the stamps? Occasionally, yes, they did. And they also, well, I'll get to that in a second. Somebody had a comment. I'll tell you another thing that's wacky. Team Brittany says, rock music history loves you anyway, Tom Gulley Show. Thank you. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Julian Zeezer says, if you could only mail letters with them. They had a problem with that. Confused older people trying to mail letters with their S&H Green Stamps. Yeah. The Guido Samurai has joined us. Hey, salute back to you. Nice to see you. Rock Music History says, hey, I can finally chat. Tom, I was with Team Brittany back in the Rick Dees days. Oh, boy. Back in the Shadow Stevens era. Team Brittany said Rick Sleaze. Oh, no, he says D. Sleaze. Everybody remembers Disco Duck. And he was in a movie. I want to say it was called Guerrilla Music. It was him and Ted Lang, Ed Begley Jr. It was this ensemble cast that, seriously, it was Radio City or... it was an ensemble cast of this movie. And I kind of liked the movie. Before Love Boat, and it had it was called Record City. Record City. It had Ed Begley Jr., Sorrel Brook, who ended up being on Dukes of Hazzard, Jack Carter, very famous, Michael Callan, who you might know if you saw his face, but he was a big star back then, Frank Gorshin, the Riddler on the original Batman TV series, and a giant Las Vegas star, Ruth Buzzy from Laugh-In, Larry Storch from F Troop, and Alice Ghostly. Who else was in this thing? Rick Dees was in it. Kinky Friedman was in it. Let's see here. Wendy Schall, some of you may remember her as a hot babe from the 70s. Oh, yes, Tim Thomerson, well-known comedian and action movie star Tim Thomerson. Susan Tolsky, who is a comedian. But if you look at the people that were in this movie, there was no real star of it. And Rick Dees was in it, playing, I think, Rick Dees, or Rick Dees-like character. This guy says, my brain thought that rug was a pull for a second. Pool. Oh, okay. I Am Sky says, I think my grandparents may have had the lamp on the bottom, second from left, but it has a little pivot in the middle. How many books for the kid? Only half a book. He's not that great of a kid. JC says, I'm trying to remember a movie from the 80s where the supermarket gets robbed and the checkout girl holds a bunch of green stamps and says, you forgot your stamps. I think I vaguely remember that, but I can't remember what movie it is. Gene says, the paintings, there's no Bob. The paintings, they're no Bob Ross. No, they're that starving artist group level of paintings. The most generic paintings you can possibly imagine. Team Brittany says, rock music, look at me, I'm Disco Duck. Anyway, Guido Samurai says, Laugh-In was way funnier than Saturday Night Live. I don't know if it was funny or not, but it was rapid fire. You can watch the old episodes of Laugh-In, and of course we did an episode about Laugh-In on the Tom Gulley Show, but even if you watch them, even if you don't know all the sort of references from the mid-late 60s, the jokes just keep coming at it. Just bam, 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 bam. They never stop, in my opinion. Well, it was very, very funny, that's for sure. And a lot of influence on culture at the time. Here Come the Judge and You Bet Your Bippy. Anyway, JC says, I remember now, Police Academy 2, when Zed and the gang robbed the supermarket, the checkout girl holds out the green stamps. Rumple Trenchcoat says, How to Fight Inflation, I think was the movie. Oh, you're right, Jared. Yes. You forgot your stamps. It's not unreasonable to think that it would have been in more than one movie. It totally ain't. Back to our catalog, because there's a lot of great stuff in here. More hideous, yeah. And they had a lot of flatware in this thing, and like China and stuff. I like how they put fancy scones and sandwiches on that. Those probably were worth a lot of books. And as I mentioned, I have this at like 500 megs for this catalog, and I had to shrink it down to like 12 so that we can't even read not that you'd be able to this size anyway, but I'd be able to. There's another fine service setting. There's another one. There's probably people out there that are using this 1968 silverware right now. Ooh, look at all that. Isn't it amazing that silverware really hasn't come that far? That looks like silverware that you'd buy anywhere, especially the one fourth from the left. I think I had that silverware. I may still have some of it. Oh, boy. Now you can tell we're in the late 60s. Like green and orange glasses like this. I don't know why that's off kilter. More knickknacks, as my dad would call them. Those are just knickknacks. But there is some salt and sugar and flour holders there. And a salad bowl with tongs. You didn't have to go out and find your own tongs on the street like a bum searching for tongs on the street. And this is what kind of gets me, is that it was so sort of Americana that they even suggested little statues and things to put on there. And can you imagine being in that meeting when they're like, the cowboy dancing with the senorita? People like that sort of thing. Put it in the catalog. Or this horse. but they did. And apparently people did. I guess they found out when it came time to redeem. Fake plants, who can't get enough of those. There's a nice scale up there for those people that used S&H Green Stamps and also distributed methamphetamine back in the 60s. Those clocks that you see up in the upper left-hand corner, not necessarily that exact one, but there were a million clocks back then that looked like that sunburst thing that I always thought were like, what's up with that? I don't understand that. More clocks. Clocks were a big thing. No, not everybody had one in their pocket. A lot of people had watches. Timepieces and clocks were a big deal before they were on your TV and your computer and everything else. You always wanted to be able to sort of glance up and know what time it is. Why does that one say Minutemen? Who knows? Oh, because of minutes of the day. So there's more clocks. And then alarm clocks were a big deal. That one there at the top had a snooze button on it. Now, if you look in the third sort of panel down, that clock that's on the far left, everybody had that clock. It is a travel clock. So if you went on vacation and you needed a little alarm clock next to your bed, the clock face folded down into that case, and you clasped the case shut and went about your business. But then at nighttime, you'd pop it open and you had a little alarm clock there. I'm digging the one to the far right of it, though. That's kind of cool, actually. Let's see here. Whoa, hey. Just more clocks. I still have a clock that's got to be from the early 60s. It still works. Alarm clock. Clock radio, as a matter of fact. Which was a big... What is this doing with the back and forth? Here's a bedroom suite. Ooh, that bed looks like a bad Motel 6 bed, doesn't it? Maybe it's just the bedspread, but it how flat that looked. It looks like he's sleeping on a board. And what about the fan above the bed? Is that, so you can fan your partner during... Well, we all know during what. I don't have to say it. Things from across the room, including a gal. The gal is only like 15 books. You leave them on the table, and she takes them out with her when she leaves. More furniture. Absolutely more furniture. What are these swingers here? What's going on there? More uncomfortable looking beds. Oh, yeah. I think these are... I don't even know what those are, to be honest with you. Oh, God almighty. This is a living hell for me. That many throw pillows. Oh, kill me now where I stand. Ladies like a lot of these on couches, and I'm like, why? I can't sit. They block me. They provide false lumbar support. I just end up moving them. Towels. You got to have towels. That looks like a blanket and or comforter. This looks like a comfortable it doesn't look comfortable at all, and I don't like all that bunting personally. I know how you guys feel about bunting. There is not one of those styles or patterns that I would ever own, nor those ones, nor these. Nope, none of those either. More pillows. I don't know if those bottom things they look like they might be comforters. Bunk beds. Now see, those look like normal, good bunk beds. I don't know if that thing on the right is a toy box or what it is. It looks too nice to be a toy box. It looks almost like it's a storage box for sweaters or something. Children. What finally did this company in was child trafficking. No, I'm kidding. Just kids stuff. Let's see here. Wow. I missed a bunch of comments. I better get to those real quickly. You guys are commenting like a fool. Jared said I'd post the clip in your Discord. I do have a Discord now. I'll be sending that link out and stuff soon. Not today, though. I didn't prepare. But maybe tomorrow and for the rest of the week. And then we'll have a Discord if anybody wants to join it. I think the chief thing I would do with the Discord, I know a lot of people don't like to come on the show and talk. But we might have the Discord, and I could go there right after the show for 15, 20 minutes, half hour, whatever it is, and rap with people if they want to. My parents absolutely had that tea set, says Rumpled Trenchcoat. I know. I keep seeing stuff that people I know actually had. And by the way, these items weren't just for sale or for procurement in the idea book for S&H Green Stamps. You could get them at other stores and stuff. So they were obviously really popular things for, in some cases, reasons we'll never, ever know. Rock Music History Listen says, Team Brittany says you're the best YouTuber in the world. Well, the numbers on this show would indicate differently, wouldn't they, sir? But I thank you and her for the compliment. I as long as one person thinks that, that's fine with me. Christian Slater says, I actually passed up a role in Police Academy 2. Regrets, I've had a few. Well, you probably were spending time with your spiders. Randy says, I remember my mom had a drawer just for the green stamps. Yes, yeah, people love their green stamps. Team Brittany says, Rock Music History Lesson. When did I say that? Send me a screenshot. P.S. I love you. The buffalo roam at night and the buzzards fly in square circles. Sounds, I believe really anything anybody tells me. It sounds convincing and lyrical to a certain extent. Did Rick send you after me, says Team Brittany? Yes. Team Brittany says, somebody get Rick on the phone to settle this. Rick Dees, can you get him on the phone? He used to work a lot. If we told him we had a voice in a cartoon or something for him, he'd call us. Him and Shadow Stevens. I Am Sky vintage clock designs were way cooler. They were. Team Brittany said, my dad had that clock with the fold-up one. Everybody had the fold-up travel clock. Everybody. And some people used it for their clock, actually. Christian Slater said, I had the alarm clock case. I had a mechanical bell in it. Loud. All of them had mechanical bells that were loud. I guess some of the clock radios at a certain part started having kind of a buzzer, but Goat says, I can see Tom being the life at the party at one of those swinger key bowl shindigs. I've been to a couple parties. Not necessarily those kind, but Team Brittany says, I love all that stuff. Keep it long enough, it comes back into style. Totally, totally true. Nothing before 2015 is comfortable. I disagree there. Those aren't, and you can still find super uncomfortable. I think it's a matter of price. You know, when you go into like a Motel 6, it's just that flat. You just know you're not going to sleep that good. Hopefully you've been driving for 10 or 12 hours so that you can sleep on the floor. You're so tired. Sky says, I could probably fit a body in that box, though. Well, if you chop it up, right? Rebel Trenchcoat says, I had that travel alarm. They had glow-in-the-dark hands. I loved it. Yeah, they were probably radium. They were probably somewhat nuclear reactive. Gully Discord, let's go. Yeah, it exists. I'm the only member right now, but I'll post that tomorrow. We'll do that tomorrow. Julian Caesar says S&H Green Stamps are people. Little Soylent Green Stamps. Team Brittany says, I'm getting Rick on the phone. Give me 5. You're kidding. Rick D's on the phone. Hell yeah, Tom, you dog. You dog. I never did that you know of. I still have more news to tell you about S&H Green Stamps. I'm not even done with the story of S&H Green Stamps, but I do think this is a pretty cool trip down memory lane with this catalog. Alrighty, more sort of baby stuff, more kid and baby stuff. Oh God, look at this kooky picture of Elton John. It looks like a young Elton John with some kid. There's a bunch of playpens and cribs. Playpens always fascinated me. It was like, here's a little net prison. It's pretty much like having them on the floor. There you go. For the swing set. I don't know what that means, but I guess if you swing long enough, you're going to fill up those baby carriages. Here's Mount Rushmore. Oh, this is camera and video equipment. It's not video equipment, it's film camera equipment. And this would have been quite a few books back then. This was some pricey stuff, okay? More camera and film equipment and reel-to-reels and slide projectors, screens for those things. But, yeah, man, those would have been pricey. Whaling vessels, which were always on people's desks in their study and stuff. Some nice chessboards there. Bridge, you had to be able to play bridge. And I think there's some other games and stuff on there. A desk for your study. That one looks kind of small for me personally, but nice little tasteful writing desk, I think they would call that. Typewriter, big deal back then. A variety of pens. Pens were a big deal. You had to have a nice pen. Look at that up in the upper right-hand corner. That is a label maker. Us older folks remember those, but that wheel, you would take that wheel and spin it to get the letter you wanted, and then it was on plastic, and you would go, you'd squeeze it, and it didn't really make a letter as much as when you take a piece of plastic and bend it long enough, it turns white. That's what it was doing. It was making that plastic stretch out and turn white. You also have a pencil sharpener next to that. I don't know why. I love a pencil sharpener. I really do. Little books there for folks and whatnot. Oh, binoculars. Check those out. Why is there a compass? Oh, that looks like maybe a wrist compass or something. I don't know. More unnecessary. There's a glockenspiel there. A miniature keyboard. Is that a keyboard flute? And then a painting for reasons. Oh, man. If you wanted to start a band, yeah, this was the way to do it. Look at the Partridge Family or something up there. And then more stuff to the bottom. Those instruments were probably very utilitarian. They were probably not your highest end stuff. Sky's got pineapples. I used to watch Psych. Rock Music History says, don't threaten me, Team Brittany. Sky says, you have my attention now with the cameras. Same, Sky. I'd give a kidney for all those vintage cameras, especially the film ones. And by the way, 1968, those might not have been Super 8 film cameras. You know, they might have been just 8 millimeter. Team Brittany says, I'm sorry for the drama at Tom Gulley Show, but Rock Music History Lesson is my old jealous coworker. No, Rick loves me more. Deal with it. I enjoy the drama. We could use more drama around here. The Guido Samurai says, what do you think all those cameras would go for in perfect condition? Oh, my God. The film camera would go for thousands. There's no question about that. Those are very rare. I had I want to say it was I had an 8mm film camera, and I loved that thing. Absolutely loved that thing. This guy says, dude, I inherited 2 of those from my grandparents, and I still use them. The tape is way cheaper than the electronic tape for labels now any days. Yeah, those label makers still work like a charm. They really do. They don't make stuff like they used to. Yeah, I had a label maker. By the way, when you first get a label maker, you put a label on everything you own. You become pathological about it. Left shoe, right shoe. I mean, you put labels on everything. Harmony guitars, yeah. Some of those guitars from the old Sears Roebuck catalog are actually worth a lot of money now. What was the one? It was a silver tone. I can't remember. Rumpled Trenchcoat says, my parents knew for sure they were stuck with the need when I asked for and happily got one of those pencil sharpeners. Oh, the pencil sharpener. The pencil sharpener was your easy out in a boring class in like grade school or middle school. You could always get up and use the pencil sharpener. You know, arrange to meet a girl up there. Crappy at Life says, happy to be here. Happy to be here as well, sir. Sky says, I just picked up a Leica R3 from 1980 the other day. Redid the light seals myself, and the thing works flawlessly. I'm amazed how good the condition of it is. Leicas are really pretty awesome cameras. Julian Zezer says, for a book of stamps, they develop your film. No question asked. No questions asked. This is the most important part of that sentence. Randy says, I have to go, everyone. Say goodnight, Gracie. Good night, Gracie. See you later, Chef. Have you done an episode on pencil sharpeners? No. Am I writing it down? Yes. Pencil sharpeners. Tomorrow's is on William Castle, legendary exploitation showman, movie director. William Castle, he did The Thing, he did 13 Ghosts, he did The House on Haunted Hill, he did Mr. Sardonicus, he produced Rosemary's Baby. William Castle, tomorrow night here on the Tom Gulley Show. Hell yeah, says Goat Scroat. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Here's more stuff. These are radios. Radio's very important back there. It looks like a tape recorder as well. I used to be addicted to, and my grandparents had tons of them, and they would give them to me. They had so many radios, because radio was the big thing before TV in the 50s, and a lot of people still listen to it a lot. Those little tiny solid-state radios, the handheld size ones, I couldn't get enough of them. They also gave me a big Zenith. It was like a lunchbox size. It had a big dial tune-in thing at the top and a retractable cord. I took it everywhere. It drove my parents crazy. Alarm clock. Well, you see a alarm clock with the radio alarm clock there. And it looks like some other radios and radio alarm clocks, maybe. Oh, boy. Not only television, but you see the rabbit ears on the upper left. The design and the componentry of the rabbit ears has not changed since then. It's actually, you can look up the patent number. It's an RCA patent that everybody used, and it's the same. I have a set here from like 1990 that works gangbusters. People think, you need a digital antenna. No, an antenna is an antenna is an antenna. It'll pick the signal up. And then you see one for the top of your house. And I got to tell you, you'd walk through neighborhoods, every single house had a TV antenna like that. Big, giant. And the quality of your antenna was really important. And it pulled in a lot of stations, man. It really did. So anyway, more televisions. These are color televisions. But you do see they are selling some black and whites at the bottom there, sort of. Still, black and white was still very much a thing. Oh, God, look at that color. Look at that avocado color of kitchen appliance. That is definitely late 60s, early 70s. Curtains, who cares? Curtains, who cares? I guess that's just a table cover. More tablecloth. I would say knickknacks and salt and pepper dispensers. Cutlery. They'd sell you cutlery. All this stuff with green stamps. A book of green stamps. Ooh. I feel like I'm watching the prize section of Price is Right. More cookery and tables and chairs and such. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You see the set of what looks like it might be flour and salt and pepper and sugar or whatever at the top. The very top one, our family had that one. Our family actually had that one. What is this StreamYard doing to this deal? Just more holders for stuff. Let's just burn through some of this. Probably getting boring. Oh my goodness. Anybody my age looking at the crockery there and that design on the front of it in blue either had that stuff or you knew somebody that had that stuff. Appliance, a lot of little appliances, popcorn popper there that you pop the corn in and then turn it upside down and use the top as the bowl. Plenty. Anybody? Coffee? Anybody? Toast? Anybody? Looks like some waffle makers. Got to iron the clothes. Ladies' hair stuff and face stuff. I guess those are clothing hampers. People still used to dry their clothes on the line, and a lot of people did in 1968. Sunshine Power. Vacuums, some of those would have been your brand names, I'm sure. A bunch of scales. Everybody used to have a scale back then for some reason. I thought it was like a ride when I was a kid. I'd get on it and watch the numbers. My grandparents' house. More. By the way, young lady, I don't care what that guy has told you. You need to get a job. You're a kept woman. There's more to life than drinking and watching video games. Put your clothes on. You're coming home with your father and I, going back to community college. Anyway, kitchen, bathroom stuff looks like, those are all bath mats and stuff. Sewing was huge back then. There were entire sewing patterns in the paper. Okay, kids' toys was a big deal. I know that because I talked to my mom about this. Just this morning, I talked to her about S&H Green Stamps because I knew I was doing the show. And she said that she got lots of toys for Christmas from the S&H Green Stamps book. Yeah. Like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell. By the way, we do have super chats and we do have memberships. Just saying. A little something for the effort. Bikes and... what'd they call that? A jungle gym or something? Daggone it. Stop it, StreamYard. More bikes. It was a racing car, a slot car racing up here. This was the more fun kind. Look at the cap guns with the holsters at the bottom there. And planes and watches, kid stuff, dog bowls. You need those for the swinger party sometimes, I've been told. Bird bath, bird stuff, pet stuff, yard stuff, cleaning up. Oh, look, the whole family's sitting there. Dad's probably going to have to take it. Is that AstroTurf? No, it's real grass. You can tell it's patchy. More outside working in the yard stuff, garden hoses. Shed, you could buy a shed. I wonder how many books that shed was. Dad's workshop, look at him. That's fake. Do you think that guy's ever once gotten WD-40 on his play clothes? No, not a real guy. A bunch of power tools, things for the pegboard out in your deal, and then leisure time with wife out at the pool. Yeah. Uh-oh. This is a spread, so those two couples are there together. Look at they're both looking at their wives like, is she gonna go for it? Are we gonna? Let's see more. You never got S&H Green Stamps for buying cigarettes until Alpine. I guess now every Alpine dividend coupon is worth 4 S&H Green Stamps toward gifts at any S&H redemption center. You get 1 dividend coupon per pack, 4 sets in a carton. That's 50 cents, 56 stamps per carton. Wow. Looky there. Free 300 dividend coupon certificate, good for 1 full book. Whoa. A whole book. Good gravy. Discover America's Vacation. And this must be vacations you can buy with S&H Green Stamps. And then, by the way, our family had this patio furniture, the wooden with the floral print. Yeah. Sit on that on a hot day. Get third-degree burns all over your back. Camping stuff. Let's see here. Boating stuff. More kids, sporting goods, and billiards and stuff. That Voight basketball, it probably is still around. It's indestructible to a certain extent. More stuff. Oh, hold on here. Oh, God. There's a bunch of these I've missed. Oh, a bunch of... Well, first of all, let's do this. Rumpled Trenchcoat said, can I redeem this picture for a picture to get the point? Let's see here. Slide 1. All right, I got to remember where I'm at. Yes, indeed, you can, by the way. I just hope it saves my place, or I'm going to have to find it again. But there you go. You have redeemed it. And you now have the point. Didn't cost you any books there for that. All right, please go back to the right page. Oh, thank you. See, StreamYard just finally did something right. Anything can be an antenna, sort of. An unshielded piece of wire is an antenna. A shopping cart can be an antenna. The wire for your earbuds can be an antenna. Many things can be an antenna, but not everything. Not everything. A bar of soap cannot be an antenna. I mean, technically, I suppose everything can be an antenna, but there's certain things. Rumpled Trenchcoat said, my folks had the red set of pots. Was that a bread box at the top left? It was a bread box. Pretty sure we had one of those crocks that I used to cook pasta sauce in. And by the way, if you want to see some of these items again, go to Goodwill. A ton of them are there. Everyone had that Corningware stuff. You are so right, Jared. Seeing that blue pattern on the crockery instantly made me feel 12 years old again. Me too. It also made me hungry for blueberry cobbler. Man, that just reminds me of the old mechanical scale I used to have. Yeah, it does. Alpine. Cigarettes for mountaineers. Hi, Julian. How are you? Do you have a leisure suit? Team Brittany said you had a lime green color. No, I never had a leisure suit. All the other guys on my junior high basketball team had them, and I didn't. My parents weren't into that kind of thing. Fancy, trendy stuff. I had something worse that got me a lot more abuse, was you were allowed to wear a turtleneck. And so I wore a turtleneck with a suit jacket and took a lot of crap for that. Team Brittany says, ignore that fool. He's still jealous about Rick Dees. No, I enjoy it. I enjoy a good bit of good-natured ribbing. Let's see here. Okay, we're at the end. Thankfully, there's all the redemption information. And there is the back page, I believe. We're done. We are done with all of that. We've finished with all of that. Now, why aren't we using S&H Green Stamps to this very day? I hear you cry out. Well, in 1972, the company was brought before the United States Supreme Court for violating the unfairness doctrine. What was the unfairness doctrine? It's a doctrine that talks about a business being unfair or oppressive to consumers. It's almost like an antitrust violation, but it's not. They had to divest themselves a little bit, basically. And it was sold. Sperry and Hutchinson was sold by the heirs of the original Sperry and Hutchinson to a company in 1981 called Baldwin United. In 1999, it was purchased by a holding firm by a member of the founding Sperry family. But by this time, in 1999, only about 100 stores in the United States were offering green stamps. With the internet and the World Wide Web, the company did try to keep up and offered what they called green points as rewards for online purchases. They didn't want the stamps anymore. Because you could redeem them online. Green points could be earned and redeemed only at a few stores mostly in New York State and New Jersey. That program was discontinued as of October 2020, and it was announced that all legacy S&H Green Stamps no longer had value and couldn't be redeemed, and green point totals would be transferred to a new thing called Fresh Points. Now, the founder of the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company, of all places, Anthony Zalessi, along with Pet Promise Natural Dog Food and Greenopolis Recycling Products, purchased the company in 2013, and they said, we want to relaunch it. I don't think that's ever happened. Now, furniture. You saw the furniture for sale there. Between 1969 and 1971, Sperry and Hutchinson bought 4 furniture companies, which became part of a Richmond, Virginia-based furniture division in 1974. Now, while they bought other furniture companies as well, because they were crazy about furniture, the first 4 became a furniture company in High Point, which is very close to Greensboro, North Carolina, called S&H Furniture in 1976. In 1981, S&H executives bought the division along with other investors as they turned it into Ladd Holding Company and Ladd Furniture Incorporated, which, for all I know, still exists to this day. So way to go. On December 7th, which is a bad day to start any business, the day that will live in infamy, it was announced that S&H Solutions was purchased by Pay by Touch out of San Francisco. The purchase price was in excess of $100 million in cash and stock. Pay by Touch suddenly closed down 2 years later and sold its assets to other corporations. And so S&H Solutions was acquired in 2012 by Prologix Redemption Solutions, a company which creates private label retailer loyalty reward programs, of which S&H Green Stamps was not necessarily the first, but certainly an early pioneer, and by all measures, the biggest loyalty program that has ever existed. That is all I have to tell you about S&H Green Stamps. Let's see here. Jean 1313, who we love when she's here. All I want for Christmas is the point. Well, Jean, I'm in a very charitable Christmas mood. There you go. There you go, Gene. You just got the point. There you are. Green stamps for the win. Screw the doctrine. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm agreeing to it immediately. Rumple Trenchcoat is laughing at Gene. Team Brittany say, I actually found some green stamps books at an estate sale. I still have them. Keep them. I think they are a wonderful artifact to a time gone by. Green stamps were more than just like Sears or JCPenney catalog, a way to acquire things. They were part of a lifestyle. They were part of, because there were a lot of people that got green stamps and never once put them in a book. They just went, nah. But there were people. My family, my mom was telling me that when she and my dad started out and had 6 kids in 7 years, their money was tight. And those green stamps allowed them to acquire things they never would have been able to buy with actual hard, cold cash in their hands. My grandparents were major green stamps people, especially on my dad's side. They were some penny pinching folks. How dare someone say they have no value? Well, they're not redeeming them anymore, but they haven't been giving them out for ages either. Hit the like button. Thank you, Brittany. Like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell, all the free things you can do to help us with the algorithm, the almighty, all-powerful, all-knowing algorithm. We also have PayPal. That's where you give the most, I get the most, and YouTube don't get nothing. Bupkis. 0. Scratch. And then we have the TomGulleyShow.com, where our merchandise store. Look, here's the begging bar. Some of it's down here. You can see the begging bar, but it's in the description of the show. Anything you can do to help us out would be great. But really spreading the word is what we need now more than anything. I know you've seen the program. You probably don't want to be associated with it or let anybody know that you actually watch it, but still, you must have 1 or 2 warped friends. People like you, they know you, they trust you. Share it. They'll take it as an endorsement. Gene says, thank you. All I want for Christmas is a Tom Gulley autographed green stamp. Well, I'll see what I can do about that. If I had one here, I would autograph it and send it to you. But Guido Samurai says, your show is like Norman Rockwell meets Art Bell. I'm definitely... Team Brittany says the Guido Samurai with some love, flexing green stamp knowledge. Yeah, green stamps were cool. That's the ultimate flex. It is the ultimate flex. Green stamp knowledge flex. Guido Samurai. I got you, Tom. Groovy. It's also been called the Mike Douglas Show meets Saturday Night Live. There's a lot of things it's been called. Only a few of which I can say here online. Team Brittany says, unfortunately, Rock Music History Lesson found out I watch your show. He's insanely jealous. I say, guys, don't fight over me. There's enough of Big Tom to go around. I'm 6'5". Let's see here. I think that's going to do it. I really do. Hey, I'm going to play The Night the Spiders Attacked again on the way out. People are loving that song. Look, Christian Slater is in my chat room all the time. Big Hollywood star, well-known. And Christian, you see, is obsessed with spiders. So I played one of the new songs, the bangers that Leon Kennedy has created for us. And he goes, there wasn't a mention of spiders on that one, which there was a mention of spiders. But we took it personally. And so now the song, The Night the Spiders Attacked. You want a spider song? We got a spider song for you. Julian Caesar says, this is the YouTube show version of the turtleneck. A turtleneck with houndstooth jacket. I agree with you very much. Team Brittany says he's 6'5". Yes, I am. Thanks, Tom. Thank you. Thank everybody to being here. We do have the most cheerful chat room on the internet, as verified by independent sources. So, Christian Slater back in the room. I do have quite an affinity for spiders. Yeah. If you look, there's Easter eggs in every Christian Slater movie. There is a spider somewhere in the background in some form or fashion. And there's spiders that you can't see because they're the same color as the background. All right, so with all that being said, I'm looking at that old clock on the wall, and like they have Reverend Al Green, I got to get up on out of here. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Tomorrow night, William Castle, legendary. William Castle is going to blow you away if you don't know who he is. He used to put things under the seats to scare people during the movies. He used to have ghosts come out of the ceiling. He used to send a card out at the end, almost the end of the movie, and let you pick from 3 different endings of the movie on the card. He used to sell fright insurance on the way in. You know, this movie's so scary, you might have a heart attack and die. Here's some insurance you can buy. I mean, he was really interesting. Spider-Man, glad you know about the spider Easter eggs. Not many of my fans ever realize that. Well, I pay attention. Closing time. Peace out, ninjas. Have a great night, folks, says our very good friend, Rumpled Trenchcoat. Thank you so much for your kind donation, Rumpled. It's very, very much appreciated. By the way, go to the Rumpled Trenchcoat podcast, the Rumpled Trenchcoat podcast here on YouTube, and then look at the episodes that they've done. Watch the Columbo episode on, I believe, Tubi, and then listen to their recap. You will have a ball. Those guys, him and his sister Adrian, are so funny and so insightful and knowledgeable about the show. Best time you'll spend. It is really enjoyable. I can't recommend it highly enough. Let's see here. Guido Samurai, thanks and bye. Team Brittany says, I can have a heart attack and die from just going to the market and buying tomatoes. Bye, everyone. Okay, hold on, Team Brittany. You got to hear this song. So all the thing left to say, tomorrow, William Castle, be here. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. And you're the best. And the only thing left to say is, till next time, we'll see you next time.
It was late, one even smooth and mellow and sweet. Tom Gulley on the airwaves laying down that beat. He heard a little rustle tapping soft and discreet. Turned around and saw some spiders dancing on their feet. All their legs were shiny gold and the rhythm pure heat. He thought, hold on baby, these little fellas groove kinda crazy, and the whole room lit like a disco dream. Oh, that was the night the spiders attacked, but with disco hearts, baby, nothing got the impact. Oh, honey, no one got sacked on the night. Oh, the night, the night, the night the spiders attacked. Christian Slater walks in with his Hollywood stride, leather jacket shimmering, grin open wide. He saw those tiny dancers moving side to side. Didn't take a minute for the man to join the ride. Every spider in the room kept the groove amplified. The lights flickered bright like a Motown stage. Silky harmonies floating like we'd turn a new page. Spiders tapping rhythm like a miniature band. Oh, that was the night the spiders attacked, but with disco hearts, baby, nothing got whacked. Skittering, jittering, never losing the tact. Groove
You got to admit, this song is... Only this show is crazy enough for this song. And it's awesome, too, by the way. It's a banger. Come on.
Oh, that was the night the spiders attacked. Silver legs shimmering in every move exact. Glittering, gliding, keeping all the rhythm packed. Ooh, so heavy, every heartbeat sinking stack. Oh, honey, the whole world clapped. For the night, the night, the night the spiders attacked.
I am so tempted to play that again. I really am. I am really very tempted to... I mean, I got other songs, but I could just end the show right now. I'm just going to end the show right now because. Oh wait, Rumple Trenchcoat said do it. When Rumple Trenchcoat says do it, it's the wrong song. When Rumple Trenchcoat says do it.
And sweet, Tom Gulley on the airwaves laying down that beat. He heard a little rustle, tapping soft and discreet. Turned around and saw some spiders dancing on their feet. All their legs were shiny gold, and the rhythm pure heat. He thought, hold on, baby, these little fellas groove kinda crazy, and the whole room lit like a disco dream. Oh, that was the night the spiders attacked. But with disco hearts, baby, nothing got whacked. Skittering, jittering, never losing the tact. Tom Gulley smiling, feeling all the impact. Oh, honey, no one got sacked on the night. Oh, the night, the night, the night the spiders attacked. Christian Slater walks in with his Hollywood stride. Leather jacket shimmering, grin open wide. He saw those tiny dancers moving side to side. Didn't take a minute for the man to join the ride. Every spider in the room kept the groove amplified. The lights flickered bright like a Motown stage. Silky harmonies floating like we'd turn a new page. Spiders tapping rhythm like a miniature band. Oh, that was the night the spiders attacked. But with disco hearts, baby, nothing got whacked. Skittering, jittering, never losing the tact. Groove so smooth it bordered on abstract. Oh, honey, no one got sacked. On the night, the night, the night the spiders attacked.
Tomorrow night, William Castle. Sunshine Skyway Bridge collapse Wednesday. The disappearance of Lauren Spiral. Spiral on Thursday. Be here for all of them. You guys are the best.
Oh, that was the night the spiders attacked. Silver legs shimmering in every move exact. Glittering, gliding, keeping all the rhythm packed. Ooh, so heavy, every heartbeat sinking stack.